May I come in, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. That.
Thank you, sir.
कैसे हैं आप ठीक हैं?
Allah ka shukr, sir.
You have done your MS in English,
Yes, sir.
and here in your weakness you say do not have enough knowledge about English literature. ये क्या है?
It's true, sir. English literature is a vast subject and discipline. So I think that because of competitive exams, I have spent my lot of time in these exams. That's why I couldn't spare enough time for literature. Since 2017, September 2015, I am preparing myself for competitive exams. I have attempted 3 CSS, 1 PMS. Unfortunately,
If you don't have enough knowledge about English literature, why don't you have mention it as your weakness?
Because, sir, one who has done MS English, he must possess enough and quality knowledge about the discipline. But I feel that I didn't possess such vast knowledge.
International law is one of your optional subjects.
Yes, sir.
What do you study in international law?
Sir, in international law, we studied various areas. The very first is what is international law, what are the sources of international law, how it came into being, how international law governs international commerce.
What is international law?
International law is, sir, I would say, it is certain. It comprises of certain rules that international communities agreed upon through treaties, through conventions, or through adopting certain customary rules and general principles of civilized nations. This is international law.
Where is International Court of Justice based?
Hague, sir. It is based on Hague.
What do you mean? How extradition is effected? If someone have to be extradited, how will it be done? How it can be done?
Sir, extradition could not be done in political affairs. Rather, it can be done in civil matters. It can be done through bilateral treaties, extradition treaties between states. There is not such an obligation or state by international law that one should be extradited.
What is the process? What is the procedure involved in it?
Sir, we have the mechanism of Interpol through which we can extradite a person or bring back a person from where he has committed a crime. And the second process is it must be a bilateral treaty between the states.
Okay. How will you describe the geographical landscape of our country?
Geographical landscape is very significant in terms of politics, in terms of economic, and in terms of its geographical integrity. So, geography of Pakistan is very crucial for its existence. Initially, it was considered its politics, rather, I would say, is defined.
Geographical landscape of our country.
Geographical landscape. Okay, so we have agricultural landscape. We have mountainous areas. We have our connection with international waters through Arabian Sea. We have various other features like deserts, and we have agricultural lands that I mentioned, I think, earlier. We have 4 seasons.
Which are those days on which the duration of night and day is the same?
21st March, I think so. From March 21st to, I'm not sure about it, so, but I guess it's...
You play cricket?
I love to play cricket.
You play cricket?
Yes, sir.
What do you do? What's your specialty?
Sir, I'm right-arm bowler. Fast bowler, yes, sir.
Can you name some 2-3 right-arm bowlers of Pakistan who did very well in cricket?
Yes, sir. We have Shoaib Akhtar, the speed master, and we have Wakar Yunus. We have right now the emerging star Wasim Shah.
How will you differentiate between Wakar Yunus and the other one which you said? Shoaib Akhtar.
Shoaib Akhtar.
Ah.
Wakar Yunus bowling was mechanical, sir. It involved a lot of physics, mechanical work in it. He used to swim the ball. He used to swim the ball in the air. His stroke crusher Yarkar was very well known, and he's master of it. While Shoaib Akhtar is a speed master. He can generate pace. He can generate speed by his long run position, and there was not such a mechanical work as compared to Wakar Yunus. His Shoaib Akhtar bowling was straight, but the speed matters.
Welcome to CSP's Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। Register now at 0316-570-1593.
How will you view the performance of Pakistani cricket team against England in the home series, the test match series?
So it was not satisfactory because of certain reason. I would say I personally feel lack of captaincy in this series. That's why we lost against England. So this must be primary consideration of PCB, that it must work on captaincy. The second thing is the team composition was not up to the mark against you are playing against a top cricket team that too is test cricket. So you must have homework upon certain key areas of cricket, test cricket. The key areas are, you may say, your spin bowling matters in it, your batting, especially your opening pair matters in it. And these are the certain areas the PCB should consider.
What is the importance of Gilgit-Baltistan for Pakistan?
Well, sir, starting from the economic importance that we are undergoing right now, it is very significant in modern times. Rather, it was significant since the colonial period. Right now, because of CPEC, Gilgit-Baltistan is a pearl for Pakistan. The second importance, which I must consider it as a first, the power generation capacity of Gilgit-Baltistan. The Gilgit-Baltistan possesses so much hydropower capacity. It can, from various researches done on Gilgit-Baltistan, one from GIZ, I forgot the full form, it is a German firm, and the WAPDA, it is estimated that Gilgit-Baltistan can produce 3,000 to 4,000 megawatt of power. If it is harnessed, then we do not need to enter into the CASA 1,000 like projects, that we have sufficient power supply in our homeland. The second, further, it has well-known tourist destination. Tourism is the just tip of the iceberg.
What is money laundering?
Money laundering is taking away money from one country to another through illicit means. Taking money out from the tax net, the financial system of the undocumented money, they can be used. I mean, the money that is not in the tax net, that can be gained from illicit means like corruption, bribes, and then.
What is the name of that international body which is assigned to check and control this menace of money laundering?
It's FATF, Financial Action Task Force, I guess.
Why it placed Pakistan on grey list?
So because of uh, certain agendas, among these, the top one was terror financing. The second one, then the next was money laundering, and the third is, I think, the governance of our banking, that it should formulate such rules that the money that is not in the tax net should be included in it. There are certain others, but that is my mind right now.
18th Amendment,
Yes, sir.
you must have heard about it.
Yes, sir.
Why, off and on, it is criticized? For what? For what reasons?
Yes, sir. So, the 18th Amendment was criticized because of this tension between centers and between the center and the provinces. Because 18th Amendment devolved the power from center to provinces. There are certain subjects matter that are totally under the that are totally provincial subjects. Like among these, education is one of them. Education and policing is the other. The province, 4 provinces have their own rules regarding policing. So this is criticized because it has empowered the units, and the units are demanding their share, their own share on the basis of their contribution. So the state is comparatively weak. It seems that state is comparatively weak against the units, and it is also criticized because of this 18th Amendment. There we have lost our national cohesion. So I think this must not be the subject of criticism, but we have to work more and to improve our provincial setups.
Sagheer Abbas, can you tell me about Kashmir, the situation in Kashmir?
Yes, ma'am. Kashmir right now is Kashmir right now is going through under crucial Indian policies, specifically the BJP, Modi-led BJP government. It has the anarchy, the latest, I would say, anarchy started from the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. The Kashmir, recently I have studied a book written by Arundhati Roy. This book's name is title, and one of our I read article in Dawn paper. It says that in the ground situation, Kashmiris are facing, even the Muslim children are facing severe military oppressions. The women are subjected to rape. The people are subjected to prisons, and they are tortured on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their links with their Kashmiri nationals. On the second hand, the Kashmir is going through a historical demographic changes. The BJP-led government particularly induced this agenda after Pulwama attack. They tried to change the demography of the Kashmir, and the next one is the political status, the political historical status of Kashmir. That was particularly Jammu and Ladakh. They met Ladakh, their union territory. So that by doing so, the BJP-led government tries to influence the possible plebiscite according to UN resolution in the Kashmir.
What is the status of Durand line according to international law?
Status of Durand line. Well, I have not sufficient knowledge about that, but according to my limited knowledge, Durand line is an established line between it established in the colonial period. So it was established between the British Empire and the Amir of Afghanistan at that time. This is a mutual consent. We can say that this was a mutual treaty between two states. So it has legal significance in international law. It cannot be ignored by a politically motivated version of anyone.
What is the difference between de jure and de facto recognition?
De jure and de facto recognition, while it comes under the broad chapter of recognition in international law. When one state came into being, it must be recognized according to UN Charter. The de facto recognition means we cannot sure about the existence of the newly emerged state or newly emerged government. So we grant de facto recognition. While granting de facto recognition, we can have certain the states, the one who grant de facto recognition, it does not have diplomatic relation with the state. Rather, it have some it can indulge itself into economic and certain other processes. While de jure recognition is a permanent recognition, that if let's suppose a state A is confident that the newly emerged state or government is fulfilling the statehood criteria of international law, it is supported by the population. It will sustain. It has not come into being by a bloodshed revolution. So they grant de jure recognition to a newly emerged state or a government. They can have bilateral relation. They can have diplomatic relation with each other.
Join CSPs, where we believe that your dreams are our mission. So let us be your partners in this transformative journey as we equip you with knowledge, confidence, and resilience required to emerge as CSS toppers. Contact us on our given WhatsApp number 0316-570-1593 or visit our website www.csps.com.pk.
Is CPEC a curse or a blessing?
Well, CPEC is not a curse. It must be thought. It must be tackled as a blessing for the Pakistani population, for the region, especially I would like to mention this, and for the South Asia region. CPEC is a benefactory program for the whole population that is residing in this area. Because some people say that it's a curse because they describe it under the blame game of the debt trap. They thought that China will trap Pakistan in their debt, and resultantly they will get some area like they did in Hambantota or Djibouti. So I think CPEC is a blessing for both, not only for the China and Pakistan, for the whole region, because it has you know very well that it consists of a lot of infrastructure programs. It has agricultural reform programs. It has development programs and others as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sagheer, what is art for art philosophy in literature?
Sir, art for art philosophy is postmodernist thinking, sir. As far as I understand it, for them,
What does this mean?
Art means we have to look at art. Art is itself self-explanatory.
And what is art for life philosophy?
Art for life philosophy means art must interpret life. It must not be illusionary. It must not be superficial, or it must not be like
What was the philosophy of Shakespeare
regarding literature, sir?
regarding either he was the believer of art for art or art for life?
Sir, I exactly cannot say about this, but while experiencing or reading the life of Shakespeare, initially his plays and his writings were not in that he was not of the view that art would be for art's sake, but
Who were the metaphysical poets?
I am unable to. This was Dryden, I guess, but I'm sorry, sir, I cannot recognize the name.
Would you like to narrate any verse of John Keats?
John Keats, yes, sir. Truth is beauty, and beauty is truth.
Other than this one?
Other than this one, sir, a thing of beauty is joy forever.
My last question is that why did Nehru oppose the last effort for united India, and that was cabinet mission?
So Nehru opposed it because of he would not have the sufficient the notion of Mahabharata or the Akhand Bharat concept. He will lose certain territory. It means that there might be a Muslim majority area will emerge. The second was that he thought that after accepting the cabinet mission, the colonial period will never be ended. British will take control over the region again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sagheer, what is your understanding about the difference of concept of colonialism and imperialism?
Colonialism is, sir, the basic difference is that in colonialism, the colonial empire physically present, physically go there, invade there, physically exploit the area. But by imperialism, it sometimes it is also called as neo-colonialism. They exploit the region. They take their influence over the region through different means like economical, cultural imperialism. We can say by political influences, and these are certain arm twisting strategies they use to take their control on it.
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570 1593.
Can you name very important colonial powers?
Yes, sir. The French, Portuguese.
Okay, you read geography as your option subject.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell what is mass vesting? Concept of mass vesting.
Yes, sir. I couldn't
Okay,
recall.
what is Gulf and what is Bay?
Gulf. I have a little bit understanding about Gulf. Gulf is, sir, like we said, the Gulf of Eden, the Gulf of Oman. This is a narrow strip that goes along certain areas, which may be attributed as Gulf. But the bay is, I can name the Bay of Bengal.
Can you tell where Chesapeake Bay is located?
Sorry, sir.
Chesapeake Bay located.
No, sir. I couldn't remember it.
Okay, you've read international law.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about the doctrine of preemptive strike?
Yes, sir.
Do you think this doctrine of preemptive strike eradicate the existence of international law? Please comment.
No, sir. I don't think that the doctrine of preemptive strike or self-defense will eradicate the international law or it influence. Rather, it's the interpretation of law that matters. We can say that in Iraq war, when America attacked Iraq on the basis of preemptive strike, or they thought that Saddam is making some nuclear, is running some nuclear program, but it was not really existing there. But the international community, the international law kept the America accountable for it. And I remember that the American notion was that they apologized for it. But this was the international law who kept America accountable. Right now, the Russia-Ukraine war, the whole international community, even the UN General Assembly, adopted a resolution on that. The one of major claim of Russia is preemptive strike. They think that there is the Ukrainian has are doing civil executions of the Donetsk. I think the name I cannot pronounce it. The Donetsk it was people. So on their ground, the Russia invaded Ukraine, but the international community is kept accountable.
Okay, what connection you see between decolonization and international law?
This decolonization was happening at the same period the international law or the UNO emerged. There is a certain connections. There are also some certain doctrine. There were treaties. The one famous doctrine was the Monroe Doctrine, who claimed that the Western powers cannot invade America or cannot expand toward the American states. Yes, sir. This after that, once the UNO established, it has prohibited all the states, even UN itself, to use force or to invade the other country on the basis of their own interest. Article 2, sub-article 1, or Article 2 and sub-article 5, both prohibit states from using force against each other.
Okay, you have to answer very objective. When Swadeshi movement started?
This movement, yes. Sorry, sir.
When partition of Bengal annulled? In which year?
In 1911, I think.
Thank you, sir.
Your interview is over. How did you perform? How will you?
Not up to the mark, sir. Not up to the mark. I didn't perform well, I think.
क्या हुआ? क्या उसमें आप क्या कमजोरी आपने महसूस की है?
Because I have skipped several questions. I couldn't provide what actually was in my mind to you. I couldn't produce it.
That's good. So knowledge gap is there. ठीक है?
Sir,
हाँ.
specifically mention करेंगे?
Knowledge gap. Knowledge gap.
History, yes.
मतलब हर तरफ आप जो है उसमें जो है क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स जो है आपने दिए हैं, कुछ के दिए हैं, कुछ के नहीं दिए हैं.
Yes, sir.
मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का जैसे यू आपने डेफिनेशन वो ठीक नहीं है बिल्कुल. जब व्हेन यू गो बैक
I will look
प्लीज
into it,
हैव
sir.
अ लुक एट इट. ठीक है. इसी तरह 18th अमेंडमेंट का भी जो है कुछ जवाब आपका वो नहीं था, कन्विंसिंग नहीं था.
Sir, I was trying to mention Article 52B, but it's given on mine.
52B
52B
वो तो खत्म हो गया ना.
इसी में खत्म हो गया.
वो तो उसकी जगह क्या हुआ है?
Sir,
58(2)B को
presidential powers खत्म.
that is no more there in the 18th amendment. वो constitution में what is now there in the constitution as far as 58(2)B is concerned, so that 58(2)B is not repeated. What is there in the constitution in the 18th amendment?
Empowered the
Article, what is Article 6 of 18th amendment? वो है ना, वो उसका जो है इसको आर्टिकल 6 में जो अमेंडमेंट हुई है उससे उसको जो है उसको ख़त्म कर दिया 52B पावर्स जो थी. तो ये है आपकी, यू हैव गुड कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, यू हैव गुड पर्सनैलिटी. ठीक है, बाकी ठीक है, कोशिश करें जो है ये जो नॉलेज गैप को फिलअप करने की कोशिश करें. अपनी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल में थोड़ी सी एनर्जी और पैदा करें. थोड़ा सा लो है आपका जो है ना टेम्पो, थोड़ा सा इसको इंक्रीज करें. वो जब शीशे के सामने आप करेंगे, प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, उससे इम्प्रूव करेगा. ठीक है, तो ऑल द बेस्ट. हाँ जी
सर, ये जो मैंने वीकनेस लिखी हुई है, क्या ये लिखना चाहिए कि नहीं?
मेरे ख्याल में तो नहीं लिखना चाहिए यार. इसलिए लिखी है आपने यार. कोई और अपनी वीकनेस देखो. ये तो कोई वीकनेस नहीं. डू नॉट हैव नॉलेज अबाउट इंग्लिश लिटरेचर.
सर, इट वाज माय
आप ऐसी कई चीज़ें होंगी जिस पर आपका नॉलेज इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा. ये तो एक वेक किस्म की है. स्पेसिफिक होनी चाहिए आपकी वीकनेस. कोई ना कोई तो होती है आदमी.
Sagheer Abbas, you have good communication skills. Obviously, आप teaching भी करते रहे हैं, so you know how to communicate. There is a serious knowledge gap, and the panel here felt that this weakness that you had written was to ward them off. Don't ask me on English literature. I'm not ready for it. But this isn't your weakness. It was just your strategy. Weakness has to be your personal weakness. Because obviously you didn't know much about geography either. But you didn't say that that's my weakness. English literature was your weakness. So when you write about it, whatever you write here, you'll be questioned on that.
Okay.
So if you were trying to save your skin for English literature, people still asked you, and there were other subjects that you didn't know either. So you unnecessarily drew attention, particularly when you say that you've been a lecturer in English, for 4 years. Then how can you not know what you're teaching? So there's a contradiction. When you fill the form, please ensure that you don't have contradictions. अब अर्नेस्ट हेमिंगवे, उसका एक पॉलिटिकल एजेंडा भी था, तो यू कैन बी आस्क्ड ऑन दैट. चॉम्स्की का भी. So it's not just what they are writing. When you write a book, then people will ask you everything about the author and the book. ठीक है? So when you choose a book, please ensure that you have read it through and through and that you know about the writer as much. That is important. Same goes for personality traits. Keep them simple, keep them short, and don't be on defensive. Just be honest. Hobbies में भी keep them जो आप defend कर सकें. Cooking पे आप पे बहुत सवाल आ सकते हैं और वो आप defend नहीं कर सकेंगे. So थोड़ी हॉबी रखो, पर जो भी लिख रहे हो उसको फिर मास्टरी हो. चाहे आप क्रिकेट लिखें या आप रीडिंग बुक्स इज अ वेरी डाइसी वन, बिकॉज पीपल विल इनंडेट यू विद क्वेश्चंस ऑन लेटेस्ट बुक, इधर की उधर की, वो आप फंस जाएंगे. सो कीप इट सिंपल. जहाँ तक आप जब आते हैं इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं अपने आप को, प्लीज प्रैक्टिस. एक पेजर अपना लिख लो, उसको प्रैक्टिस करो शीशे के आगे, so that the words you use, you will be questioned on that. So every word that you practice on, you should understand what you're saying. And obviously you're a literature student, so you know the nuances of the words that you are going to use. Otherwise, you're perfectly fine. Favorite personalities, Amjad Saqib is a very fine man. I know him very well. Nobel Prize के लिए भी उसकी हो रहा था, नहीं हुआ. People will start asking you Nobel Prize. एदी की भी बात हो रही थी, उसका भी नहीं हुआ. मलाला का क्यों हो गया? So, you will draw attention to questions that you may not be prepared for. जो भी पर्सनैलिटी लिखो, उसको फिर आपको उसके सारे एस्पेक्ट्स पता होने चाहिए. And that the panel will be judging your personality through the personality that you've written here. But mashallah, you're a capable young man. I'm sure you'll do well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just fill up your knowledge gap.
Okay, I will look into it.
Thank you.
सखीर, लिटरेचर को रिवाइज करो. एक ना छोटी सी बुक है, हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंग्लिश लिटरेचर, कंसाइज सीआई
रेड वाली.
जी, रेड वाली. बियार मलिक की इंडियन राइटर है, उसको पढ़ो. इसलिए कि पाकिस्तान अफेयर की बिल्कुल अगेन बड़ी कंसाइज सी बुक है, ट्रैक टू पाकिस्तान, उसको पढ़ लो. 1857 से 1947 तक है, और ज़्यादातर क्वेश्चन भी इसी इरा से किए जाते हैं. बाकी यू आर फाइन, जैसे मैम और सर ने कहा, इन दो चीज़ों पे काम कर लो सर.
थैंक यू. सगीर, आपको अपने ग्रे एरियाज का पता लग गया है. अब उन पे आपने वर्क करना है, उनको आपने सॉर्ट आउट करना है, उनको अपना पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट बनाना है अपने इंटरव्यू का, इन एरियाज को. हाँ, आप कुछ क्वेश्चन जो है थोड़े से गलत आंसर कर रहे थे. वो अब फॉर एग्जांपल आप डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ प्रीएम्प्टिव स्ट्राइक है, जो है वही वो न्यू वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर, उसका जो एक अब उस पर बहुत ज़्यादा क्रिटिसिज्म हो रहा है कि भाई आप जो इंटरनेशनल लॉ को वायलेट करके आप अटैक कर रहे हैं. तो एक उन वायलेशंस को आप देख लें कि वो उसके बारे में व्यू क्या है. मैं कुछ आपसे मैंने बड़े टोकन क्वेश्चन किए ज्योग्राफी के बारे में. ज्योग्राफी तो मैप जो है वो तो आपको फिंगर टिप्स पे होना चाहिए. भाई स्कैंडिनेविया को आप बाल्कन स्टेट बता रहे हैं, और जो इन सब चीज़ों को देख लें. चंद एक थोड़े से सीज हैं और ओशंस हैं, उनकी स्टेट्स हैं, बाल्टिक स्टेट्स, सेंट्रल एशिया से रिलेटेड पूछ सकते हैं आपको, वो खान कॉरिडोर से रिलेटेड है. ज्योग्राफी के इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट हैं, वो देख लीजिएगा. ज्योग्राफी में ही रॉक्स वगैरह का भी आ जाता है, कौन कौन सी रॉक्स हैं. तो पाकिस्तान अफेयर भी आपका ग्रे एरिया बन रहा है, इनको थोड़ा सा वर्कआउट कीजिएगा. थैंक यू.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.